Hi, I'm Paulo from Chupan Games, and today we will learn how to do the skill action check. Finally, we already did the ability check and we already imported the skill table. The skill table gives us not only the skill name but also its base ability. We will start creating the action. Its icon. Again, it's personal taste, and it's valid for both players and game masters. It's valid for everyone. And since this is very similar to the ability check, not exactly equal, but similar, I will copy and paste it just because I can. Now, I changed some things here from ability to skill, but now we need to understand what we want this field to be. This field, originally, simply allow or deny proficiency. But now, we have a skill and players already have or do not have proficiency in that skill. However, there will be times when the game master will do not want that the player is allowed proficiency, or on the other side, may always want that the player use proficiency. When programming criteria, keep this in mind. Leave room for the game master to choose. Always give him more input fields so that he can choose and bend the rules if needed. What we do not want is to force game masters to do something they do not want because we did not put into the rules. So I will in fact create a combo here, fixed combo with proficiency. The options will be by skill, yes, or never. Okay, we don't need spaces here. This is important. Based on that idea of flexibility or bending the rules, I will add another input field here, just after the add proficiency. And this input field will be the ability. The idea here is that the game master can sometimes change the ability to other ability than the base ability listed in the skill. For instance, if we are using an intimidate skill, and intimidate is based on wisdom, sometimes if the player are branding a club and saying talk, the game master may allow the base ability to be strength, perhaps for a barbarian. Okay, it's better for the player, and the game master may allow it. How can we do that? We will create a combo here, default, which means the default ability for the skill, or he can override abilities here. We need to get the ability modifier. We have this info here, but which ability we will pass here? First, we need to look at this field here. Okay? The ability will be the default or will be one of the overridden abilities. So we clearly need a branch here. Every time you need an if or two definitions for some field in an expression, you use the branch. The branch is the equivalent of an if, but when used in an expression. The expressions will go into this side and the comments will go into this. So we need a branch. And we will ask if the ability is the default. So we will get this input field and ask if this is the default. So ability input field equals equals the 4. So if it is the default, the ability, it is the ability from the skills table. So we use a table field, and the table will be the skill table, and the field will be the ability, and we will click the journal just to add the journal for us, and the skill will be the skill that was chosen here in the skill input field. Okay. Now, if it's not the default, it's one of the overridden abilities, which is this field again, because the game master will choose one of these ones here. And this is the input field, is the same input field that we check for default, but if it's not default, we would simply use the ability overridden, or the overridden ability. Here. Let's review this part. If the ability input field, which is a combo, is the default, we get the ability from the table using the skill. If it's overridden, we get simply the overridden value. And this will return the name of the ability, which is the parameter into the ability modifier info we already created. And this will return the ability modifier to be added to the 20 row. Now, the proficiency input field is not anymore a Boolean, so it cannot be in the condition. We have to ask one by one if this is by skill, yes or never. Well, since we cannot use a branch because this is not anymore a Boolean field, we will just get rid of it. Okay? And we will use a very interesting node called switch. The switch node works along with input fields of combo type, or with table fields of combo type, or even with main stat fields of combo type. How does it work? You use the switch, and just before the switch, you need to input a combo information. Just like this. Here, we have a combo information by skill, always, never. And the switch understands it and create automatically labels for you to fill. Now, what we want to do, if this is by skill, we need to know if that character has that skill. If it has that skill, we will add the proficiency bonus. So the skill is a main stat. Remember, we will use a main stat node here. And the field will be one of the skills, which are conveniently input here. We grab the skill chosen by the game master and drop it in the field name. So now this stat returns a Boolean because the skill fields are Booleans. So here we need a branch. And if they have the skill, we will add the proficiency bonus. And if they do not have the skill, we will add 0. Now, if the game master chooses always to add always the proficiency bonus, that's simple. We will simply drag the proficiency bonus here and it will add this here. However, if the game master chooses to never add the proficiency bonus, we will add 0. So let's review this. We are adding the 20 side row, the skill ability modifier, e.g. dex, str, and so on. And we will add the proficiency bonus if the GM allows it. If it's by skill, which is probably the normal situation, we will look at the main stat to see if it has that skill and return the proficiency bonus on the true condition. However, the game master can always add the proficiency bonus or never, in which case we add 0. Okay, we are now at our test map, and I will run a persuasion test, which I have skill, to tell the werewolf that I am not edible. Well, I think that DC is something like 30, but I will be good to myself and will put a 20 DC. Okay, so let's roll this, and you will use, okay. It's a 10, of course I'm failed. I have failed. So I have rolled 10, I have 17 charisma with 3 modifier, and I have character level 3, and the proficiency bonus is 2, so the total is 15, and I'm failed. Let's test with another way. Okay, let's say that I'm always have proficiency, and I don't have proficiency in acrobatics. So let's try 12 here. 12, success. Again, 12, dex 12, 1, 3 plus 2. See, even if I don't have skill in acrobatics, he still gave me the proficiency bonus because we programmed it. And now I will roll persuasion again, but this time I will choose never. So I will use persuasion or medicine. I think I have. Oh, persuasion. Okay, persuasion. And never. It won't add my proficiency, I hope. And here, okay. Have a 4 fail, and it won't add my proficiency here. Everything is working, and now we have an action, 2 actions in fact, one for skill check and one very flexible one for the dungeon master. And this concludes the first part of our course. This is the basics. Now you should have the ability to create actions, your own actions. In the next criteria series, we will learn how to improve this and move on to more complicated things. Thank you.